So hello there, my name is Agnes, and just to give you guys a little background about myself, I am an international business and finance double major, and I also have a Spanish minor, so you can see that over here. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about my study abroad experience, which took place in spring of 2015. I spent 5 months in Mexico, in Querétaro to be specific, and that's known as the ITESM program. It stands for Instituto Tecnológico de Estudios Superiores de Yada yada. It's a bunch of Spanish. So that's the acronym that my program was for. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about why I chose the program that I did, what I did there, because I did a lot, and kind of what the effects were when I came back. So to start out, when I was choosing a program, I really had two criteria that I was really set on. So I wanted a Spanish speaking program because I wanted to practice this here. I figured that with all the high school and college classes, I really wanted to challenge myself and kind of see where I was at and get some real life experience, frankly, outside the classroom. And then my other criteria was that it needed to be budget friendly because I am a broke college student. So I was very conscious of the fact that, I didn't want to spend a whole ton of money. It couldn't be more than a semester at ISU, or else in my mind it just wasn't going to happen. But luckily, the advising staff at the study abroad office were really helpful. And I ended up finding the Mexico program, which was perfect. It was Spanish speaking, it was budget friendly because I actually saved money by going to Mexico versus being here for a semester, which is awesome. But then on top of that, there was also an opportunity for me to do an internship there, which as a business student, I was really excited about. So that kind of leads into while I was there. To start out, I lived with a host family. My host mom was awesome. Had students for 30 years, so she's seen it all. Living in a homestay really gives you another level of like the culture of learning the language. I lived with another girl from ISU, and just to kind of give you an idea, she spoke no Spanish when she came to Mexico. Like, she had taken some in high school, and then like her journey with Spanish had ended there. And yet, by the time that we left, she was speaking it. She understood it a lot better. So there is a lot of room for improvement. Don't feel like you can't go to a country just because you don't speak the host language. Because don't limit yourself like that. Don't do it, please, because you will learn through the immersion. Then, as far as school, I had classes Monday through Thursday. So I took a cultural class, which was in Spanish. I chose to take it in Spanish. I took a fine arts class to finish up my gen ed, also in Spanish. And then I took a doing business in Mexico class, which was in English because it was offered particularly for international students. Now, disclaimer, you don't have to take classes in Spanish. Everything is offered in English. I just decided to because, again, I kind of wanted to see where I was at. I did pass all my classes, so it's doable. It just was some work. There was times where, I had to ask, like, what is going on because I don't understand. And what's really cool about what I at least liked my semester was that there were people from all over the world, not just Europe, or the States, but also from Central and South America. We had a few people from Asia, so I really got to meet people from all over the world in Mexico. So that really was kind of interesting hearing about people. The university, the Tecnológico de Monterrey, it's kind of like what they go by, does a really good job of like welcoming all the international students. So you kind of have like orientation for 3 days before school starts, so you meet other international kids as well as Mexican students, so you can feel kind of more at ease, figure out how campus works. Campus is beautiful because most of it like kind of like open concept, like in California, where like we have tables outside and you can walk everywhere or bike. They have bikes on campus, and you don't have to worry about the cold like here in Chicago because it's freezing. So weather, great thing about Mexico, the weather. But going back to kind of the study part of study abroad, as I mentioned, I also had the opportunity to do a internship while I was there. So The university, the Tecnológico de Monterrey, actually paired me with a local company who needed an intern, and I met with the woman who would be my manager. She kind of explained what the project would be, and from there I spent about almost 4 months. I would go in twice a week. Just took a taxi, and I worked for a couple of hours. I was doing kind of market investigations and data analysis, which I had never done before, but I learned a lot doing it. What was really cool is that I got to do presentations in Spanish, so that was really good for my language skills. Again, everyone was really supportive, really understanding, and they really helped if I needed anything. So for me, that was really cool because here I am getting professional experience, but with a company that's not from the US. It's actually a German company that has offices in Mexico, Colombia, Chile, and Brazil. So I was looking at these different markets, and I really don't feel like I would have the opportunity to do something like that in the US. That's what you see happening a lot in study abroad. You get to do things that you can't do at ISU or that you won't have the opportunity to do in the United States. Part of the reason is that the US is 200 years old as a country. So to give you an example, for my fine arts class, we would discuss different types of art, and then we would go to the historic district of the city, walk into a church, and then my teacher would point out all the things that we had been talking about physically in front of us, which was really cool because you can't do that here. So that's a trend that you see. There's different opportunities, and you really have a chance to get involved. After 5 months, unfortunately, I had to come home. I didn't want to, but I did. And since then, I find that the study abroad experience is still affecting me today, particularly as a business student. I got credit for my internship through the College of Business here by completing some projects. So I got credit. All my courses came back. I pretty much completed my minor while I was in Mexico, which was nice. And then there was the fact that all the experience that I had there, I still talk about now in terms of professional development for interviews. I always get asked about, what did you do there? How was it? So when I can come up with tangible examples of, oh, well, I was learning, but I was doing cultural immersion, but I was also doing an internship, it really kind of helps the employer get a better idea of what my interests are and my abilities are. So study abroad in general is great for marketability, regardless of what your major is, regardless of what career you want to have, because not a lot of people study abroad. Less than 10% of undergrads like us study abroad, so it makes you stand out. So overall, for me, study abroad was an awesome experience. Favorite thing I've done at ISU. I want to go study abroad again. Who knows? Maybe it'll happen. So I very strongly encourage people to study abroad. The Mexico program in particular was awesome. I got everything that I wanted out of it and more because I just didn't know what to expect, but it was a very good time. Met some great people who I still am in contact with. It's still helping me professionally today, and overall, probably easily best 5 months of my time at ISU. So regardless of where you're looking at going, whether you want to go to Mexico, whether you want to go to Europe or Asia, anywhere, do it. Just go for it. Find a program that fits kind of the needs that you have and just go for it. It's going to be a great time. Thanks, guys.